Hello everyone and welcome to Pabbly Connect. In this video, we are going to understand how to add new leads received via email to different Google Sheets. So let's say that I'm running different courses and here every time a new lead is received for a particular course, then I want that the details of that particular lead should be added to my Google Sheet which is created for that particular course. So here I have got different Google Sheets for different courses. So every time an email is received with a new lead for that particular course, then the details should be added to the specific Google Sheet. Now to do this, we are going to use a feature by Pabbly which is email parser. So email parser provides you this email address. So all the emails that you have received will be automatically forwarded to this particular email address, and then from here you can extract information like email address, contact number, name of the person, name of the course, etc. And once you do that, then automatically the details will be added to your Google Sheet. So we are going to integrate email parser with Google Sheets using Pabbly Connect. Now to understand how, let's start. So here we are going to understand every time you receive a new lead through email with a set template, then how automatically the details of that particular user will be added to your Google Sheet, and now these Google Sheets are specified as per the course selected. So if the person has selected spoken English course, then the details would be added to spoken English course leads Google Sheet. If the person has selected CUET, so the details will be added here, and if the person has enrolled for NEET, then the details will be added here. Now to do this, we are going to integrate Google Sheets and email using Pabbly Connect. To understand how, let's start. So this here is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect software, and you can reach here by clicking on the link which is given in the video description. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in, and if you are a new user, you will have to sign up. It is not going to take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. Now once you reach the dashboard, on the right hand side there's a tab Create Workflow. Click on this. This dialog box has appeared, and here you have to name your workflow. So remember that you can give any random name. I'm going to name it as per my objective, which is add new leads received via email to different Google Sheets. Now here I'm going to click on Create. And as I do that, here you can see we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One here is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger this when this happens. Action says do this. Basically action here is the automated response of your trigger application. Now let's understand this with the help of an example. So every time you swipe your card and the payment is made, then you automatically receive a message on WhatsApp or an SMS about the amount debited. Now how does that happen? With the help of automation. In such a use case, your trigger application will be the payment gateway, and your action application will be applications that help you in sending these WhatsApp or SMS messages. Now as per our use case, the trigger application will be a feature by Pabbly which is email parser. So what does this email parser do? So it extracts data from the incoming email sent to the mentioned email address, and all data like email name, subject, the body of the email, the phone number, etc. is extracted from the email automatically. And you can then send those details to different applications. So here we have received this email address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to forward all my mails to this particular email address. So to do that, I'm going to first copy this. Now I'm going to take you to the email address that I have. So this here is the email address. Now here we have to go to settings. Then we have to go to see all settings. Now within settings, we have to go to forwarding and POP/IMAP. And here I'm going to add a forwarding address. Now here I'm going to paste the address that we have just received and click on next. So as we do that, here you can see it is written forwarding mail to this particular email address. So all the incoming mails to my actual email address will be forwarded to this email address. Now I'm going to click on proceed. And as I do that, here it is written add a forwarding address. So a confirmation code has been sent to this email address to verify permission. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here you can see we have received this response where when I go down, so here in this body text we have received the confirmation code. So this here is the confirmation code. So I'm going to copy this, go back to the email address, And here I'm going to paste this confirmation code. Click on verify. So as I do that, it is written you have verified the forwarding address. Now once this is done, I'm going to enable forward a copy of incoming email to this particular address, and as I take you down here, I'm going to click on save changes. So here it is written you are forwarding your email to this particular address, and this notice will end in 7 days. Now once this is done, taking you back to Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to go up and click on recapture email response. So here we can see it is waiting for email parser response. So now it is saying send an email to the email address mentioned above. Now what I'm going to do, from a different email address, I'm going to send an email to the address where we have just added this forwarder. So I'm going to now take you to the other email. Here I'm going to compose a mail. So this here is the email address. Now let's say the subject is new lead. And here I'm going to enter the information. So here I have written, hello team, we have received a new lead and these are the details. Now I have got the name of the person, email address, contact number and the name of the course. Okay, now here I'm going to click on send. And here you can see that the message has been sent. Now always remember, whenever you are using email parser, this particular feature by Pabbly, then the template in which you are receiving all the leads has to be fixed so that later we can map the information. Let me take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here we are waiting for the email parser response. It can take a few seconds, so I would request you to wait patiently. And here you can see we have received the response. So here is the display address. So this is the address where we have sent the email, and we have sent the email to this particular address. Now the subject here is new lead. Then as I take you down, okay, so here you can see we have the body text. So this here is the text that we have sent. Now once we have received this information, my objective is that this workflow should run only when I receive an email with the subject with the word lead in it. For example, the subject can be new lead or new lead received or just lead, basic lead. So the word lead has to be there. For this, I'm going to use another action application. This is again a feature by Pabbly, which is filter. And this filter allows to execute the workflow only when the set conditions are fulfilled. So here I have to select the label. For this, I'm going to go to step 1. And here you can see the response that we had received. And I'm going to go to subject. Now I want that the subject should contain the word lead. And I'm going to give another condition. So here our objective is if the subject contains this word lead in capital letters or in small letters, then only the workflow should continue. Okay, now here I'm going to click on save and send test request. And as I do that, here we have received the response, which is the status is that it is a success. Next, I'm going to add another action step. So once I have received this information from email parser, I want to extract the data. So basically I want the name, email address and the contact numbers separately. Now let's extract this data. To extract this data, I'm going to use another feature by Pabbly, which is text formatter. And here the action event will be text basic formatting. Now as I click on connect, so you can see first of all here we have to map the string. Now mapping means that as I click on this, you can see the previous step and here is the response. And as I take you down, so this here is the string from which we want to extract the data. Now this method with which I have added the information here is known as mapping, and this is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. Had I written the same information manually, then even when this workflow was running in real time with some new data, it wouldn't have taken that. Instead, it would have been stuck with this manually written data. So to avoid that, we map the information. Now here, I'm going to select extract email address. So I'm going to click on save and send test request. So you can see that as I do that, here we have received the email address. Now I am going to copy the step and paste this once again. Here I have copied and pasted this particular step, so I do not have to do the entire thing again. And this time, instead of extract email address, I'm going to extract phone number. Click on save and send test request. And here you can see we have received the phone number. Next is I'm going to add another action step. So here I'm going to again choose text formatter. Click on this. And this time I'm going to use the event which is text parser. So this here is text parser. So basically text parser is used to parse a text by giving text match after or text match before. So first of all I'm going to click on connect, and here I'm going to again map the string. Here that's the body text. Now here I want the name of the person. So basically I need dummy user, these two words. So the text match after will be name with colon and text match before will be email. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same name and colon, and then here I'm going to write email. Okay, now as I click on save and send test request, so you can see we have received the name which is dummy user. Now once we have extracted the data, what is my objective? Every time I have received a lead with the details like name, email address, phone number and the name of the course has been specified, then the details should be embedded in the specific Google Sheet. So I have created different Google Sheets for different courses. For this what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly which is known as router. Now this is an extremely interesting feature which is provided by Pabbly. So what does it do? So it allows to execute different actions based on the filter conditions you set. So here you can see we can create different routes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first rename the first route. Let's say it is spoken English course. Okay, now I'm going to update. So here I'm going to set filter and action steps. Let's go here. Let's go to step 1. And here I'm going to go to the body text. Now if this body text contains the value spoken English course, which means that if this particular person has enrolled for a spoken English course, then the workflow should continue in this direction, which means that first let's see the response received. So the response that we have received is a success, which means that yes, the particular person has enrolled for spoken English course. The moment the condition is true, so I'm going to add another action step. This time the application here that I'm going to select is Google Sheets. So here we have Google Sheets and the action event will be to add new row. So I'm going to click on connect, and as I do that, here Pabbly Connect wants to connect with Google Sheets account. I'm going to select add new connection, sign in with Google. And as I do that, here first of all we have to choose the account with which our Google Sheet has been linked. Then Pabbly Connect Sheets wants to access my Google account. This is absolutely secure, so I have clicked on allow, and here you can see that the authorization has been successful, which means that Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect, they are now connected. Once this connection is all set, so here I have to select the spreadsheet. So as I had shown you earlier, we have got different sheets like this. Here is CUET course leads. Here we have the sheet for NEET leads, and here we have the sheet for spoken English course leads. So I'm going to select spoken English course leads spreadsheet, and since there was only one sheet, so it has already been selected by the system. Next here we have to map this information. So let's map the name. Let's go to step 5, and this here is the name of the person, and then we have to map the email address. Let's go to step 3 here, and this here is the email address. Then we need the mobile number. Let's go to step 4. This here is the mobile number. I'm going to click on save and send test request, and as we do that, here we have received the response according to which now this information should be embedded in my Google Sheet. Let's go and check the same. So yes, here we can see that the information has been received here. Now similarly, I'm going to create 2 more routes. So here I'm going to name this route as CUET course. Let's click on update, and here again I'm going to set filter and action steps. So here the label, let's go to step 1, body text, and this should contain CUET. Okay, I'm going to click on save and send test request. And since this particular person had not enrolled for this course, so here we can see that we have received the condition as false. Now I'm going to add another action step. If in case the condition would have been true, then again my application here I'm going to choose as Google Sheets. Here the event would have been the same, add new row, connect. So here I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. And now I'm going to select the spreadsheet as CUET course leads. Again, the system has selected the sheet. Now here again, you will have to map the information in the same way. So first we need the name. This here is the name. Then we need the email address. So here we have the email address and then the mobile number. So this here is the mobile number. Now I'm just going to click on save. Okay, so that when you receive this information in real time, so the workflow will continue. Now I'm going to close this and add the last route here, which is neat course. So I'm going to name it as neat course. Now you can create as many routes as you want. Let's set the filter and action steps. So here again, I'm going to go to step 1 and let's go to body text. This should contain neat. Okay, let's click on save and send test request. Again, here we'll receive the condition as false because this person had enrolled for spoken English course. Okay, now if in case the condition would have been true, so what we would have done, here again our application will be Google Sheets and the event would have been add new row. Again, I'm going to set up this connection by selecting the existing connection. And here the spreadsheet would have been neat leads. So you can see the system has selected the sheet. Now let's add the details. Go to step 5. This here is the name. Then go to step 3. This here is the email address. Go to step 4 and this here is the mobile number. And again, I'm going to save this. So here you can see that this has all been saved. So this means that we have set up the entire integration. Now let's check the same in real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send another mail. So let's compose another mail to the same email address. Okay, the subject here would be lead received. And here I'm going to add another information. So let's say the name of the person is demo user. Then the email address is demo@pabblytudes.com. Then we have the contact number, which is, and then the course name is CUET. Okay. Now always remember that whenever you are setting up this template, the phone number has to have the country code with the sign, the plus sign. Okay. Now I'm going to click on send. So as soon as this message has been sent, what should happen? The details of the lead should be embedded in my CUET sheet. Let's go and check the same. And yes, here you can see we have received the lead. So this basically means that our integration is a complete success. So now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So here our trigger was email parser by Pabbly. The event was to capture email parser. Then we had put a filter so that the workflow should continue only when the subject of the mail should have the word lead in it. And then we had chosen this text formatter by Pabbly, another feature through which we had extracted first the email address, then the mobile number, and then the name of the person. And finally, our action application was another feature which was router, and with the help of this we had put separate conditions so that the workflow should run according to our objective. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us. Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.